Hello everyone, I'm Tuco. Welcome back to another episode of the LTR Structures Reforged series. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Dalish Smithy. So behind me is the newly reforged one, and of course to my right over here we have the original and current version, I suppose. Now with this structure, I tried to keep it as similar as the original as possible. Of course, adding quite a few differences, but it is still a long rectangular shaped building. It is a little bit bigger. Well, actually, you know what? No, it's not too much bigger than the other ones. It's pretty much the same size, except the interior here, as you guys will soon see, is a little smaller, a little bit on the smaller side. Well, anyway, I chose to keep the same design as I used for the house, thus kind of keeping it a little bit more consistent in how everything looks. And it does look like I did forget one little. There we are. That's a lot better. But as you can see, we have some nice arches going on here where the windows are. Of course, it's pushed back a little bit, just add a little bit more detail. And also, we have, of course, the nice flower patches up here, or I guess flower boxes, whatever you want to call them. And then, of course, I'm using the wattle and daub as the main walls for the second story. And for the first story, I tried to keep it just like the house as well, in that it is just the Dalish brick as the main foundation, a good sturdy rock foundation. And then, of course, just like the house as well, we have the wooden pillars, or I guess it's not wooden pillars, wooden beams stretching up, giving some nice support to the roof and everything up top there. Now, with this struggle, and man, that's a violent storm. But with this structure, we also have a really large chimney on it, unlike the other one. It's a little bit taller. It's a lot taller, actually. And then, of course, with the roof, I didn't want to make it just flat and plain like the original, so I went ahead and added a few designs here to the roof, adding a few arches where the windows are, just give it a little bit more detail. And anyway, so let's head on inside. Well, I guess first we'll start off at the porch here. Now, I really like the porch from the house, so much so that I wanted to make it for this one too. So I did. I added a nice little porch here where we've got some torches to light the area. It's cobblestone, so it's not the finest porch, but you know, it's a nice place to dry off, get out of the rain if it is raining. But anyway, inside here, as you guys will see, it is quite small. The first story is a very small workshop, or blacksmith shop. Very, very small. Quite unlike the original. But I did this because, well, I wanted my porch. I wanted my porch, so I decided to do this. You know, if I didn't have, if I wanted a larger one, I would just get rid of the porch. But I didn't want to get rid of the porch. I really liked it, so I kept it and just made this place a little bit smaller. So, of course, we have all the crafting benches nice and neatly put in the floor. That way, it saves on space. We also have, of course, the forge right over here, and then some chests, and of course water and an unsmeltery for all of the blacksmith's needs. Now up here we have, of course, some of this handiwork with armory, and of course also some weapons on the walls here for some nice decoration. Now, of course, we also have some storage up here, and to add a bit more detail, because it was kind of bland with just the wattle and daub, I added some trap doors here to just give it a bit more texture and a bit more texture, a bit more better looking at any rate. Anyway, so if we come in here to the main living area of our blacksmith, he has a nice little table here to eat and drink. Of course, a bed. Blacksmith has a bed, and of course a nice little kitchen area for all the, I guess, kitchen needs. We also have, of course, a cauldron and a crafting bench for all of that. Also, here we have a nice beam stretching across to give some added support to the roof, because, you know, it's always better, more support the better. We also have, of course, here a fire pit that is not lit. Unfortunately, I forgot to light it. But we also have a furnace here for, of course, all sorts of smelting needs. And then also here, I guess we'll start from the left here. We have, of course, two nice cabinet. Well, I guess not cabinets, but some nice wardrobes. I mean, I love wardrobes. They always look so nice in any house with the spruce. So I decided to add those there. I also added some pots here with some nice little saplings. Added some greenery to this really bland and brown place. I also added this carpet here because it was a little bit too brown. It needed some extra color. We also have, to get rid of that blandness. Some nice banners from the faction, the Dalish faction. Wonderful blue, I gotta admit. And then, of course, we also have the bed, 2 chests, and, of course, a clock. Because the blacksmith, you know, he's a little bit on the wealthier side. You know, he's got enough money to buy a clock. There's also some barrels hiding up here for some extra storage. Get them out of the way and up into the rafters. We also have here, I wanted to make this kind of like cupboards, so I decided to add in some nice little cupboards here using the trap doors. I think it turned out pretty nice with those. And then, of course, for the windows, as usual, I have the fence posts as the window, I guess like the window frames or whatever. You know, I might switch that up further down the road, make some different changes to these windows, because it is getting kind of old with the fence post. So maybe I'll do that later down the road. We also have here some nice torches to light the place up, and I do believe that does it for this structure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the LTR's Structure Reforged series. And as always, I'm Tuco. God bless. I'll see you guys next time.